This episode of the Rotating Tap Podcast is brought to you by Epic Brewing Company, with tap rooms and breweries in Salt Lake City, Utah, and Denver, Colorado. These guys, in addition to making great beer, also make a delicious hard seltzer called Paca. Paca comes in 4 different flavors, including grapefruit tangerine, black cherry, cherry lime, and mixed berry. And it's made with really good and real fruit, which makes it taste way better. I mean, it doesn't have that syrupy flavor that you get from other hard seltzers, and still 100 calories, 3 carbs, 100% delicious. Grab a 12-pack of this stuff, either at your local liquor store or grocery store. Stop by one of the tasting rooms to grab some yourself, in addition to some other Epic Brewing stuff, and everything these guys make is dynamite. So, thanks for listening. Enjoy the show.
Welcome everybody to the Rotating Tap Podcast. We've got Steve Vanderplug, Corey David, and special guests. Maybe beer people talking comedy or comedians talking beer. Listen up everybody and we'll see what you will hear. I won't waste any more time cause it's going very fast. It's the Rotating Tap Podcast.
Nice.
That's a note to remember to bring up Saber, whatever the fuck that is. Saber. Like Saber, like Dunder Mifflin Saber?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like
You know,
that?
we should just get it over. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
We're not going to talk about that.
Hey, welcome.
I'm not even sure that we're allowed to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Well, great. Yeah,
This is
we
like
will not talk.
this is like Roswell UFO stuff already.
Yeah.
Classified documents.
Conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rotating Tap.
Comedy podcast. We're here. Hello. We're talking about podcasts and conspiracy theories. It's all going on.
Yeah, we're off to a ripping start.
Emo music. We're into it. We're here at Black Project down South Broadway with James and Alex. Say hey, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
And I'm
Nailed it.
Steve. I'm
Yeah.
Steve Vanderplug with
I'm Corey David, and I'm very excited to be here today, specifically because I love your guys' beer. Steve hates sours.
Yes.
And,
fuck yeah.
So, yep.
Good.
and I took a little bit of LSD this morning, so we are
nice.
shooting.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're
Nice.
going. Not enough to like see.
Yeah, no,
elephants or
microdosing
anything.
is legit.
That's
I
good.
fuck with
Just
that.
enough to
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you
Yeah.
first try that, and you.
Yeah.
I remember when I tried it on a Saturday or something. And,
Like a whole hit or just a little
no,
micro?
just like a little bit of mushrooms, and then which are legal, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Criminalized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Luckily,
don't-
my mom doesn't listen to beer podcasts. So.
I love how you
She
did
probably
the,
does.
You did the finger wag with
Yeah.
well, it's legal, baby.
It's okay.
True. Yeah.
Drugs are good.
Yeah, you know, you look online, and it's somebody who's just done mushrooms for like years and years every time they can, and then as a light user, you're like, I'll do what they said, and then
Yeah.
you're like, well, I'm glad I tried this on a weekend. 'cause-
So you didn't try to work after you ate a little bit.
no,
of
I
mushrooms.
didn't try to. I think I just played video games, but I was like, this was too much.
Even that was
took too
intense.
much. It took too much.
I felt too
I,
much emotional attachment to the characters.
No, the video games were great.
Oh, okay.
The psilocybin was too much of that
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
for microdosing.
Yeah,
But it was a fun.
The
it was a
TV
fun
wasn't
day.
even on for like
Right.
2 hours.
I was just sitting there like, dang.
Well, this is really intense.
Just
So
trying
lifelike.
trying to play the same God of War scene over and over and over.
So Alex, no mushrooms for you before work?
Well, not anymore. I did have this experience prior to working here where I did acid. I did a lot of acid, and I thought I was good. I'm sure you know peaks and valleys.
Sure.
So I was in a valley, and I drove to my bartending job, and I started to peak right as the live music started to play, as it tends to happen. I had a really great shift, but I was never again.
Did you like never? Did you not go into work? Did you consider just like staying in your car to listen to the song?
No. It was at work.
Oh,
it was
at
a
work,
live.
sorry.
It was a live,
Oh, yeah.
live
just
music
jamming.
setting. Yeah,
You're just standing there not helping anybody.
It was
just
a
like,
really,
oh.
it was a really nice bartending shift.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
light as a fucking feather.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing Adderall one time in college just to like study and party at the same time because that's the best way to do it. And I had a final the next day, was cramming, did a bunch of it, and I was so into what I was reading that I almost didn't go to my test.
Oh,
like
shit.
I almost
Like,
considered like
I
skipping.
gotta decide. I could just finish this.
I was like, the Spanish Armada, are you kidding me? It's wild.
Yeah.
They're like, the test is on microeconomics, Corey.
I just stole somebody's book. It seemed like a good read. All right. Well, you guys are known for making some amazing wild beers and sours specifically, and that's what you're going to chug today by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Not super
Yeah.
sour. It's not
We're
like
sort
really-
of cheating.
Yeah,
How are
we're
you
cheating
cheating?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
You guys don't understand the rules of this chug-off.
I
Alex
already
found
drank
out,
half of it while we were talking. I'm just
Alex
kidding.
just found out about it on the fly.
yeah, Alex
Yeah.
found out
Yeah.
10 minutes ago that he was going to be chugging a beer
Well, I-
and telling a joke. So
Yeah.
In the email, I thought that it was an optional thing, so I was like, "Well, we just won't do that."
Oh no. Yeah.
But,
Oh, like you get to pick the segments. You
I don't
wanna
know,
do?
man. Yeah, I guess.
That's fair. I didn't give you a lot of
I'm not a
direction.
great reader. It was a lot of stuff. I was like, "Wow, that's a lot of stuff to cover." Probably we just won't do that part. But you're like,
We'll
"That
just
happens first." I was
skip
like,
all the parts that you want to resist.
All right, I
Yeah.
saw it and I was like, "Well, let's vote."
No, we pick and choose the ones we want. We got a couple
Yeah,
standbys
that
though
works.
that are always just like old faithful segments
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah,
and we
for
feel
sure.
like the best way to just get things going
Yeah,
and
get everybody a
ripping
little drunk.
is the
Yeah.
chug.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck yeah.
Should we tell you about the beer?
so you can tell us what the name of it is first,
Okay.
and then you chug your beer, and then you tell us what it is after.
Great.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
James, are you going first?
And also,
Oh,
so
we're not going together?
no,
we have to
time
time it.
separately. So as soon as the glass hits your lips, Steve will time you. They aren't taking the optional 3 seconds off their time with an 8% or over beer. That's totally respectable.
4.95.
That's nice.
What is
That's
this?
fine. It's a little.
Oh, getting called out.
No, sir.
Actually, I can hear it.
All right,
You
hold
can
on.
rattle that
Okay,
against the
you
mic,
see
please.
that?
If you could rattle that against the mic.
Oh,
my God! Look how
come
much
on.
beer
Come on.
is still in that can.
half of the beer was still in there.
Disrespect,
Yeah,
sir.
Okay. All right.
There we go. There we go.
Disrespect.
All of our cans are can conditioned.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it
we're
is,
gonna-
yeah.
As soon as you're done chugging, we're going to ask you to do two things.
Okay.
You're going to explain the beer to us, and then you're going to tell the joke that you prepared for
Great.
us.
Got
So a
it,
little back to
got
back.
it, got it, got it.
We encourage burping, gassiness, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So who's going first?
I'll go first.
All right,
Oh,
James,
yeah.
whenever you're ready.
I'm going to go for low score.
You're gonna go for low score. Well,
It's
don't
like
do
golf.
that.
Just take your sweet time.
20 minutes later, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
you gotta
yeah,
beat.
yeah.
You
we
gotta
can
beat.
move on whenever you want.
You gotta beat Farmer's low score. So
Yeah.
yeah. It was 36.
We'll see.
33.
33.
Farmer at New Image getting called out for sucking.
Well,
All right. Whenever you're ready to go.
Okay, cool.
And we're off. He's running. Not bad. Not a s- I don't think he spilled a drop on that beard. I don't know why you would. It's pretty majestic.
No, but he's not the quickest.
Very well maintained, but slow and steady.
He's clearly doing better than Farmer, though.
I'm actually consider he should just at this point wait until the end of the episode to finish it. Like a time of like 45 minutes.
And
Coming down the home stretch.
Oh,
Oh, little baby gulp left. That's the amount that he left in the can.
that's very true.
Cheated. And time.
Great.
All right. So what did you just have?
Right, so this is called Top Secret. It's an experiment we did. It's a wild fermented hard seltzer.
Okay. Okay. That's
uh,
nice. Your eyes are watering. That's
Yeah, yeah. It's actually not that sour,
Thank God.
which
No,
is
it's
why
true.
I picked it, because some of our beer is really sour, and I
Yeah.
really wouldn't want to
No, it's good.
show
Got
up
a nice
16
tartness to
ounces.
it.
But it's made like a piquette. So,
For the record, he tried to burp, could not. Just a real gassy mouth fart.
yeah, so it's basically made with Tempranillo and Cab Franc grapes. There's a technique that they used to do in France called piquette, where they take the grape skins after they make wine and they rinse them with water.
Okay.
And we sort of used that as inspiration for the seltzer. So it was second use grape skins with water and sugar added to make a hard seltzer.
So is this following a lot of like the hard seltzer protocol, so to speak, where low carb, low cal, like all that stuff?
I mean, no.
I was curious because that's like the reason a lot of people wind up drinking hard seltzers.
Yeah.
is
So I mean,
for
it's
the health of it, so to speak.
it is made with no ingredients that contain gluten.
Okay.
We don't call it gluten free just because we canned other beers before this. We cleaned the system out, but I know some people that are actual celiacs, and
The smallest
a,
amount.
something the size of a grain of rice can actually cause. So I don't want to we're
Yeah.
not a scientific
Yeah.
like type of
we
deal.
ain't no scientists.
Yeah, I mean, we never got it tested for gluten, but it's made with nothing containing gluten.
Yeah.
So I think most people who are just worried about they don't want to consume gluten is probably fine. We didn't have the carbs tested, but it's
We did get the calories tested.
Yeah. What did do you remember what
for I just looked up. For a 12-ounce serving, it's 110 calories.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good.
So,
Yeah.
It's about like a normal seltzer.
That's a
Yeah.
seltzer.
Yeah,
I mean, it's-
calories.
yeah,
They're
it's
usually
pretty
like under 3 carbs or whatever.
It's dry.
Yeah.
It's dry, and it's
Yeah.
pretty much just the alcohol that causes the calories.
Yeah.
A little bit of carbs. So.
That gluten comment kind of reminded me of that Seinfeld episode where they have like the fat-free yogurt and they actually
Yeah.
send it to a lab to find out if there's any fat in it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yours?
That's weird, but okay.
Yeah. There's no gluten or fat in this.
Right. If you have
seltzer.
fat in your beer, then you've done something.
Probably put it in
wrong.
intentionally.
Yeah.
I'm sure some brewery in Iceland's used like whale lard or something along
I think there's
that
probably
line.
a brewery within 100 miles of here that's probably used.
Yeah, you
Something
know, while we're calling out New Image, they did have that literal butter stout. So.
Yeah. I remember seeing that.
So,
and I'm like, is
yeah.
it April? It's not. It's
Yeah,
fucking June.
yeah,
or
no,
something.
it
I
was
like,
a
wow.
real thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, somebody sent me. Was it you? The Oscar Blues is making a mustard beer now.
Yeah.
With Hellman's, right?
No, with French's.
Oh, with
Yeah,
French's.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Hellman's is superior mustard.
Honestly, though,
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
it's common knowledge.
Favorite mustard? Go.
Oh fuck, Grey Poupon, I
Grey
guess.
Poupon's pretty good.
I guess if it's a name brand.
Yeah.
I like that Stone Ground shit, so.
Yeah.
Easy answer. By far the best out there is Ed McCaffrey's mustard company.
Who the fuck is that?
You don't know who Ed McCaffrey
Ed
is?
McCaffrey, really?
Why don't you have a mustard podcast?
Fucking,
Yeah, honestly.
I don't like mustard. But you're right. We will have.
I don't like mustard.
If you just throw a straw hat on this guy, he looks like a mustard farmer, doesn't he?
I don't even know how you grow mustard.
Just seeds, yeah?
It's just seeds of a.
No, the bottles.
You
They
just-
sprout out of the ground.
You put a bottle out.
That's
and
what I
it'll just
pictured was the
absorb.
fucking like a tree of mustard bottles. It's like what the fuck?
You gotta get the Hellman's variety for
Yeah.
your orchard.
Yeah.
Plant those and get the Hellman.
Almost
Well,
time for
actually,
picking.
it can't be called Hellman's if it's not made in the Hellman region of France.
That's true. That's true. It's Hellman-esque. Hellman
Yeah,
style.
they're real
Yeah.
sticklers. It's like lambic
Hellman
culture.
inspired.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like lambic culture.
I believe
Yeah.
it's pronounced Heilmans.
It might be actually. I don't know. I grew up in Illinois, so I say a lot of shit.
Do you know who?
We don't have
you
maps
grew
and
up in
stuff.
Illinois. Do you know who Ed McCaffrey is?
The name sounds familiar,
you
but
and
you
Ed
keep bringing him up.
McCaffrey.
So
Yeah, but that's the thing. Is like it's kind of mine. You're clearly.
who is it?
Well,
What is
hold
it?
on.
Spit it out.
He'll get there.
Yeah, I'll get there. I just saying, like, clearly you guys are transplants because anybody from here, Ed McCaffrey is a true American hero. He is a multiple Super Bowl winning wide receiver with the Denver Broncos.
Oh, that guy.
Oh,
And
that
also
I know who you're talking about now, but I didn't know him as the mustard
curator
guy.
of fancy mustard.
Yeah, it's like McCaffrey's mustards or
Yeah.
something. It's like pretty
Yeah.
basic, yeah. Yeah, but you can get it at King Supers. There's like, and he has different varieties, right?
Yeah,
He's like
and-
kind of branched out. It's weird.
Are we talking like farm stand mustard? Like he
Or
shows up
King
to like a
Soopers.
farmer's market and he's like, "Hi, I'm Ed McCaffrey, and I've got fine
He's
mustard. I used to play
also
for
a
the
used car
Broncos."
salesman. He's.
Is he?
Do you know how much mustard you could put in this
I
bad
think there
boy?
might be a McCaffrey auto sales.
I
don't
know there's Elway.
Elway,
right?
I mean, he's got a restaurant.
Yeah,
he's
he
got
does
the car
everything.
dealerships.
Yeah.
Who's John Elway?
He well, we didn't say John, so
Yeah, we're talking about the band. The band.
What was my time, by the way, on that?
Hold on, we'll get to
That
it.
was
Oh,
way,
you also,
way too-
all right,
I got to tell a joke.
Yeah, you gotta tell a joke.
Okay.
Sorry, we went off on a mustard rant.
right.
Happens all the time.
You want?
Give us everything you got. Just give us.
I've got two saved
Throw
up
a
here.
couple
so.
zingers at us.
It's a zinger. I've been telling this joke since I was like 12.
I'm really worried it's the same joke.
Does it involve an alligator?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, good. All right.
No, mine's a crocodile.
Just tell the same joke, but change that part. It'll be great. It'll be so funny. All right, here we go. Okay, so guy walks into a bar. As all good jokes start. That's not true. He walks into a bar, and he has a beer, and he's sitting there, and he sees a sign that says, "Free beer all night for anyone who can pass the test." And he goes, "All right, well, we'll see." And he has another beer. Have I told you this? He has another beer, and he goes, "All right, man, I'll give it a whirl. What is the test?" And the guy goes, "Well, first of all, here's a handle of tequila, and you have to chug this in one go."
Oh, you'd have a slow time at that.
Yeah, I would have a real slow time. I would definitely be more than 36 seconds. Then I would also die. So he's like, "Okay, well, then what happens?" And the guy goes, "Well, upstairs, there's a 400-pound woman who's never had an orgasm, and you need to fix that. And outside, this is in Florida, by the way, y'all. There's an alligator outside, and he's got a sore tooth, and you need to pull that. Then you can drink free for the rest of your life here if you want." And the guy goes, well, I'm about to think about it. He has another beer. And then he gets a little buzzed, and he goes, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And he gets the tequila. He chugs the whole handle, tears streaming down his face. There's a timer on it to put him on a leaderboard. And he's just done. He's finished this tequila, and then he stumbles outside. And there's just tons of you can hear the alligator roaring. He's screaming. There's just thuds and bumps and all kinds of sounds. And he comes back inside and he says, now where's the woman with the sore tooth?
I love the relevancy of the joke. I like the timeliness.
Is it relevant?
Great. Yeah. Didn't you say that you were chugging something for time?
Well, right. That was
Yeah,
he was,
You adapt better than most open.
He gave an alligator an orgasm. That's the point.
Did he though? Do we know that? Have you talked to this crocodile?
Well, crocodile and alligator are not the same thing.
Yeah, everybody knows crocodiles don't come. Idiots.
Right. That would be a whole different. The joke doesn't work.
The joke
way.
does. All right,
I have a backup
apologies.
for later if we need another, a little levity, but we'll keep going.
Well, that one took half the
Two
podcast,
stand-up,
so I don't know if
there's two stand-up comedians here, so probably I'll
I feel like all they do is go around, get shitty jokes from people to make fun of them later. So I feel
No, we use them.
Probably, yeah.
It becomes
I'll
our
be
whole
at
just
Voodoo
source
in
material.
6 months, and one of these guys will be up there. Guys, this guy walks into a bar.
You
and
ever heard about
Fuck you! I will do it if it ever happens, by the way.
I think at the end we should just have we should make an episode that's everybody's jokes.
It's only jokes?
It's only the jokes that
But no one would
people have
listen to
done on
that,
the show.
probably.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty good. I think we got some bangers.
They're usually
in there.
funnier than mine.
No,
Probably,
we got some
yeah.
bangers in there.
Well.
That was great.
Anyway, thanks for having us on, by the way. I definitely, I like doing podcasts.
Yeah.
I like listening to podcasts. I like the Dollop. I think they're really funny.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're funny,
I saw them live.
They're very educational too.
know,
Not like this one.
No, this is
They're semi-educational. We get into some really beer geeky kind of stuff.
Yeah, like what the kind of mustard is best.
I learned about the name of the epic wide receiver for the Broncos at some point. So
yeah.
I've forgotten the name. now,
Maybe
but
more
I forgot-
legendary.
I remember
than
what he
epic,
did.
Honestly,
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Anyway, I've been told I have a face for podcasts, so I'm glad you had me on.
That's funny because I don't think you're handsome at all. All right, Alex, you're up for the chug. So you're drinking the same thing, right?
Yes.
So what I would ask then is after your chug, just describe any flavors, mouthfeel kind of stuff that comes to mind, maybe a food pairing that you'd put it with, and then we'll do your joke right after
What'd
that.
you have for lunch? Because you're going to taste.
Yeah,
burp
you're right.
Whatever you just
I
ate
had,
right
I
before
had
this.
coconut oil fried tofu.
Fucking
Oh,
gross.
yeah.
That's first of all
Hipster
fucking
fuck.
gross.
Nah, it's fucking delicious.
Sounds pretty great, actually.
Frankly, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And cauliflower rice, because
Who says it like that?
cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Yeah. Well, you
I mean, if anything, I
you
call
get that
flour.
I all the way.
Yeah, you spell it.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
Is that red hot chili peppers and cauliflower?
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right.
There you go.
Oh, he just went right into a little sneak attack.
Look at his
lot
little-
more
look at
chin
his little-
action.
the chin
Wow.
goes
He's
like
like a turkey kind of garbled.
Yes.
That was fucking wild.
It was like a wave pool in the
I've
glass.
never seen that. What was happening there? It was a little
It was like what, 5, 6?
gyration.
Hold on, we'll get to the time in a second. So tell us a little bit about what you had.
He's got a spreadsheet open over there. This is like a Google Sheets open. He's typing.
Oh yeah, we are up to 44 chugs, 44
Nice.
times. So
That's great.
yeah, anybody that cracks leaderboard at this point is doing very well at having a drinking problem.
This is also as proficient as Steve is with the spreadsheet. So you're learning about all of the skills right now. Microsoft Word proficient. Yeah, right. Anyway,
Yeah, so
What does it taste like?
James said, it is dry. It's got a decent amount of spice from the Cab Franc, but I wouldn't say that either of the grapes are overwhelming, or they lend nice dominant flavors, and that's going to be just because
Pretty highly carved, also.
yeah, we did water it back.
that up.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I would drink this and I would eat seafood for sure.
Oh yeah, I could see that being good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really
light,
good.
flavorful.
I drink it and I play frisbee or something. I
Yeah,
feel
for
like
sure,
it's
man.
it's
Yeah,
a hard
I'd
seltzer.
play a nice disc golf round.
Now you're talking my
yeah,
LSD
yeah.
language. That's good.
Yeah.
Corey and I actually play disc golf pretty often.
Nice.
Doesn't
We're
surprise
at-
me at all.
I have my discs
Yeah.
in my car, man.
Let's
Oh,
go.
great. Well, we know what we're doing after the show.
Well, Alex is going back to work.
Yeah, that's very true.
So,
Well, we'll throw discs and think about you all.
Hey, I wonder what Alex would have thrown next. Valkyrie, maybe an Avion.
I literally, that's exact. I got the little like beginner set.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you just started playing?
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
they've been in his car the entire time.
It's honestly true. They're in awful condition.
It's still in the plastic wrap. Actually, just throw the whole pack.
I've hit one ace. I felt probably the most proud of myself that I've ever felt.
All right, we all gotta brag about it.
It was it was at a very novice course, and I think it was like 100 feet away. So
What course
Johnny
was
Roberts?
no, King Carroll.
it? King Carl, yeah.
It was hole 2.
yeah.
Hole
Okay,
2 at King
yeah,
Carroll.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
wide
split
open. You got that
threes,
big
yeah.
arc. It's
Yeah.
it was nothing.
King Carroll's
Right.
a silly little course.
Yeah.
James, we'll
That
get
makes
back
me
to you in a
laugh.
minute. So anyway, what's your favorite?
Speaking of frisbee, we should talk about frizz ice.
Oh, we should not talk
What's a frizz
about
ice?
frizz ice.
Elaborate.
It's okay. So
Somebody hits you with a frisbee, and when you open, when they
Frisbee
open
circle
their
going.
eyes-
You got like 6 guys in a circle throwing a little soft silicone frisbee around, and if it was going to you and you could have caught it and you miss it, you have to chug an ice,
it's true.
Okay,
a smear off ice.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah. I once got iced 6 times in one round of frisbee ice.
In one night.
Yeah.
By the last one, we literally gave him 3 misses because we were like, "This is not."
I
even
think
right.
it was
isn't even
more
fair.
than 3. I
It was-
think
I
you guys
we
are
gave
being
3 and then
nicer.
another
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Did your stomach just explode after that? Or what?
Outwardly, yeah.
Yeah,
through,
basically, yeah.
through my face.
So
Yeah.
gassy.
The sun was not down yet, and he was just laying on his face in his tent with his
true.
feet sticking out of it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It was awful. Yeah. It
Sounds
was.
like a good time.
Yeah.
It's,
It was,
it's just so sugary.
yeah. It's true.
6 beers
Yeah.
doesn't do that, but
Yeah.
6
No.
ices is like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I drink 6 beers every
He was
day.
also drinking 6 beers while we were doing
Honestly.
this. It's
No
not-
wonder you were. so
And there
good
was
at that
tequila.
Yeah, it wasn't just 6
No.
ices.
No.
I mean, I can do beer and tequila, but then I can't, like, together I can do them fine. But you give me one ice, and I'm having the worst time.
Yeah.
show.
Honestly.
Yeah, with our
Honestly.
powers combined, we can get Steve shitfaced.
What is your fucking joke?
We're getting to it.
Okay, sorry, I'm not the host.
No, I'm
James
with
is
James
hiding.
on this
talking?
one.
I'm with James.
I'm with James.
What
We
did
gotta-
What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
From the longest joke on the show to the shortest.
Shortest ever.
Okay, great.
We've covered a lot of ground, equal laughs. We're in a good
Yeah.
place.
Could have gotten
Yeah.
closer to the mic when you did that, but I guess with Rona, it was probably good that you didn't actually.
Yeah, you looked like you were about to deep throat our microphone.
Well, that was. I do have to shout out. I stole that joke from my friend Chelsea that works at Locavore down in Littleton. So
Oh, nice.
God
That's
forbid
good
she
to hear.
hears it
Got
and
it.
thinks that I stole her joke.
Chelsea's going to have to think of some new material when she's on the podcast.
Now, as somebody, you guys are experts in wild ales, bacteria, things of that nature, even though you don't claim to be scientists. I need you to answer this
I actually
question.
am.
You are a scientist?
Yeah, I actually am. Yeah, I have a degree in biology.
You're
Yeah.
not wearing a lab coat, so I don't believe
Nope.
you. That's how being a doctor works and a scientist? It's true. So
Speaking of Seinfeld, remember when Costanza told people he was a marine biologist?
that's just like that. We don't usually bring up this many Seinfeld references. It's
Yeah,
just
well,
happening.
I thought that was the first one. Were there other
No,
ones?
there was the fat-free yogurt.
The yogurt thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
The
I don't
gluten-free
fucking- I don't-
yogurt beer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Seinfeld.
Remember
I don't-
when we
I
were
don't know
talking
if-
about taking the tops of muffins off and eating just the tops?
Yeah, those were the days. That was good stuff. So, bacteria-related question.
Okay.
Why does one of my armpits always smell worse than the other?
I don't know.
It's probably an infection.
Yeah.
What? It's not like rank. Like it's not terrible,
Well,
but like
it's-
one side is not. Do you guys
Is it
ever
your
have that?
is it your dominant side?
No, it's the
Oh.
weak one.
Oh. Well, it's probably festering.
Well, it's probably. I would say
Uncle
it's probably.
festering, or what are
Yeah, it's right. It's festering because you're moving your dominant hand more. Your other arm's just hanging there.
Yeah.
I feel like
You're
fermenting
not
in
airing
there.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you're only putting deodorant on one side.
I don't use deodorant at all, so
Well,
that's why one
that
side
would
gets
probably-
stinkier than the other.
Okay.
It's because you use no deodorant.
No, that's not why. But I'm saying they both get a little stink.
Sure.
We're humans.
Yes.
Sure.
We all. Yeah. Good. I'm glad everybody at the table
Agreed.
agrees.
Three of
As
you.
a biologist, passed the confirmed. Based on my initial assessment.
So if you're trying to get more funk into a beer, do you just air it out a little bit more, or do you let it fester?
Yeah.
That's not it at all.
Okay.
Well, actually, festering
Yeah,
is part
yeah,
of it.
All right,
yeah,
see,
you-
I'm not
honestly, yeah,
fucking-
you let
I'm
it-
not
you
an
let it
idiot
fester.
No,
over
you're not.
here.
No,
I'm
he
not
knows
a
what's
dumb
going on,
guy.
actually. Yeah. We don't air it out. We try to avoid oxygen exposure because it
Yeah.
makes vinegar.
Yeah.
But we do let it fester, right? So
Yeah.
our beer, some of our beers in barrels for 4 years.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you can call it festering. We don't generally.
Yeah.
If you read our labels, we probably, I hope to God, have never written
You guys
You
should really
should stop
trademark
reading
that.
fester. We let it fester.
This beer has festered for 2 years.
But it's kind of, I guess, what's going on.
So I'm always infatuated by open fermentation and cool chips. I just think they're the coolest
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
And, well, no pun intended. And yeah, worst joke we've done so far. So
Aw,
yeah,
that's really
Worse than
nice.
the crocodile
to James.
jokes?
yeah, that was definitely the worst one.
Nice.
So
All
why?
right.
So why that? Why did you guys get into that? Other than just, it seems like it's just a fun way to make beer. But
Sure.
how'd you wind up going down that path?
Yeah, I think some people would say it's because I can't make clean beer.
Just all of your regular stuff got infected anyways.
Which is right. So people don't know the backstory. We had a clean brewery here first,
Oh, I didn't know.
and Black Project started. It's simultaneous with that, but it takes 8 months to release one of these beers. So we didn't for 8 months, and so we started as clean only. Actually, if you were to check on Tapped, I think that those beers were really good and comparable to other clean
Yeah.
normal breweries in Denver.
We checked on tap. We'll get back to that later.
Yeah, well, you can. Yeah.
That's
We've got some things to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. There's some great ones.
We like to go over bad reviews.
I saw that on the
Love
email
that.
also.
Love that.
I love that Alex had no idea what he was getting
Yeah,
into.
Alex
As
is
we
dumb, right?
as we give
1
him
minute before
segments
this, I was
and
like, "Come
waves.
over here. Do you want to be on the show?
I mean,
I'll chug a beer."
I'll be honest. I have no idea who you guys are. I've never heard of the podcast.
We're not
so-
actually here.
And now, yeah.
Am I on acid?
It's like, oh, hey, you listen to Census Fail too? Cool. You want to do my podcast? Yeah.
4 hours from now, Buck is just sitting in the tap room by himself, talking into an empty beer bottle. Like, what happened? Everybody's like, "Yeah, we just let you do that, man. We didn't know."
Just telling a joke like a broken record.
He's like, "Guys, oh."
Everyone's like, is he choking? Or
He keeps being like, "Oh."
Just opened the doors and he wandered in here one day.
never left.
So you had a clean brewery and then it transitioned to
Yeah. So we, for a while, they both coexisted, but we had, people were lining up around the block for the Black Project stuff, and about 18 months later, we were like, we should probably just. That was my decision. I was like, a lot of people were like, you shouldn't do that, but I was like, I think we should just do this beer only. And if we took away all of our production space that we made clean beer with, we could make enough that we could have a tap room with Black Project on tap.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the idea. And I don't know why we started talking about this, but why did we do this beer? Yeah. But
just like I'm just like you're
Yeah.
curious about your path in
Yep.
general because it's uncommon, especially
Right.
when you think of open fermentation and cool chips. It's kind of the countryside of Belgium, even though that's not real, right? Because Cantillon is like also downtown,
Sure,
like in
sure.
Brussels. So
Right.
just that path, because Allagash is like one of my favorite breweries in the world. They are a little bit more out in the country, right?
For sure.
They're outside of Portland.
For
it's
sure.
not- yeah, but like why here and why
Yeah.
did you go that route?
So I mean, I love farmhouse ales. Lambic is not a farmhouse ale. Lambic is an urban.
He said he was going to have hot takes on this.
It's not a hot take.
Facts are not hot takes.
And I think now a lot of the Lambic breweries are outside of town, but at the height of Lambic production, it was an urban brewery thing, not like Saison. So I didn't really have a problem with where we were located. Kind of interesting fact is that around the height of Lambic production, when there was 100 plus Lambic brewers in Brussels, Brussels was the most polluted city in the world. People would step off the curb and get hit by a horse-drawn carriage because there was so much coal soot in the air because it was all.
Hell
It's
yeah.
sort of in a valley,
Fucking
and
metal.
so I guess the coal soot from like heating homes or whatever just fucking people. I mean, apparently it's quite smoggy. I guess I don't know. I wasn't around.
The world used to be a very disgusting
Yeah,
place.
yeah. So
People were
that-
shitting into buckets.
that's right. It's road on the street, and that's when people were making Lambic, and that's when Lambic was at its peak, actually.
Right around the time everybody was shitting into a bucket. That's when Lambic really
Probably, right?
Yeah.
You really got to get that microflora.
Yeah, honestly.
But I mean, no, I as a microbiologist, I really was into this idea of what a wild culture does in a wild mixed culture. It's an ecosystem. You're creating an ecosystem in your beer, versus. So I guess I always still think it's like being a rainforest ecologist is what we do, and making normal beer is like being a cattle rancher, right? So you have to understand your cows and that species of cow and give them the things they need. But we don't have a specific species. We are trying to influence the entire thing, or letting and understanding how the entire thing is going to go, and that's how our beer is made. So that's kind of my thing I always say. But, yeah,
Nice.
I was experimenting with it a lot as a home brewer. It's a little bit difficult to do cool ship stuff as a home brewer because of the physics involved of like cooling 5 gallons overnight. If you think about 5 gallons in a bucket overnight,
Yeah.
it's going to get colder much faster than 300 gallons.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's difficult, and cooling time is really important. Yeah, but I experimented with it a lot. I harvested some wild strains that we still use today, and yeah, that was always the plan. We didn't know if it would work, but we had another brewery. We were making clean beers, and we were like, hey, let's fucking try this.
Yeah.
The first time we did it, we just did 5 gallons on the roof. We literally did not have a hose long enough to pump it to the roof. So my old head brewer and I, at the time he was just a bartender, as we had barely opened. Mitch Ermitinger and I used ratchet straps and pulled a 6-gallon stock pot full of boiling wort up onto the roof.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, it was super sketchy. And I remember people coming out of the Mexican restaurant, Adelita's next door, and being like, what y'all doing? We're like, get away. This is real dangerous. Please,
That was not the time.
please fucking get away. And we
Would
got
it be fair to assume this was in winter? That
Yeah, it was
you
in
did
winter.
this?
It was like February 20.
So there was like ice and snow on the ground because that alley doesn't really thaw out.
Well, we were pulling it up. We were pulling it up from the corner. But
Okay.
yeah,
This all sounds OSHA approved.
very carefully, like very coordinated, because you couldn't tip the thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's now our work grant, by the way. We did that in. But
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was still our work grant, but we didn't have another.
Sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
So you have a more
pretty cool,
efficient
yeah.
method these days.
Yeah. So then we stepped up to 2 giant.
Nope,
stock
we still
pots.
do it. Method traditional. However we
We
started
do it
it.
6 gallons at a time.
We went from
We've got a
6
pulley
gallons to
system.
2 60-gallon stock pots, and now we have a 300-gallon
If you look
copper
behind
cool
you
ship.
guys, that
Those pots, yeah, which actually is still part of our process.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
part of the method traditional process, but not
Yeah.
to put them on the roof. We just
Yeah.
use them as a holding tank. But
Do you just have like a pulley guy? You hired
We
somebody?
do- we
like,
know,
hey, we
I-
need somebody that can
we did
yank
that
us."
once, and I bought a longer hose so we could pump it up to the roof because that was sketchy as hell.
yeah.
We won a JBF medal with that beer, though. So.
Yeah.
You can tell all
it.
the work
Yeah.
went into it.
Oh shit! Do you guys want to know your times? You guys want to know how you do?
I
it?
really do. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I do.
actually not thought about anything else.
Let's get this out of here. So James, you finished at 24.36 seconds.
Yeah, that's better. You know what?
Respectable.
Just like hashtag better than farmer, right? That's all you got to
I'm
That
gonna
should
put
be a
every post I
reoccurring
make
hashtag for the show.
You beat out Farmer and you beat Kat Segal, who was at Oasis, but she just took a job at Left Hand.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
good for her.
I only
Yeah,
beat
good
2
for her.
people.
You only beat 2 people. Yeah.
You took the
cool.
bronze in last.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I wish I would have been last now because at least it's more notable than third was last.
Alex was able to crack the top 10 leaderboard.
Hey! A new player
With
has
his-
entered the
yeah.
chat.
Great.
His weird gobbling.
That was a lot of road action.
That is.
Not a coincidence that his
like a
joke
little
also
erotic,
had to do
and
with
then-
ball gargling.
Yeah. This guy gargles.
I did practice, so
I feel like we just saw a technique before our eyes.
can I get that time though? I'm really
Yeah,
worried about it.
you landed in 9th place
Okay.
with 4.96 seconds.
Congratulations.
Wow. That
Who's?
was really great.
Can I ask who's first and what their time is?
First place is a comedian by the name of Zach Moss,
Okay.
and he drank his in 3.24 seconds.
What was it?
Coming for you, Zach.
It was just
I don't remember
a
the
lager,
beer
I think.
specifically,
I don't
yeah.
remember what it
Just
was
a
either.
lager,
but
Just
it
a
was,
log.
yeah.
To be
was
fair,
something
this was
super
probably
light.
about lager difficulty.
Yeah, with carbonation and.
Man,
If
you
it
guys
was
are really
another
trying
canned
to.
beer from us, it would have been.
Fuck that.
Really
If it was another canned beer from us, I would request a handicap of like 4 seconds.
You guys are really trying to pad your stats right now. Jesus.
No, I'm not.
Matt Taylor, who works at the Pint Room,
Yeah.
would technically be in first place. He drank his beer in 3.63 seconds, but it was over 8%, so he gets 3 seconds off. So he technically finishes at 0.63 seconds.
Wow.
3
Yeah.
seconds is a lot because. You know, I don't know.
I was like, yeah,
6%
also, yeah,
versus
what,
8%. I'm
yeah,
not sure
what,
the
yeah.
alcohol matters that
Yeah,
much at an
yeah,
8% level. I'm not going to mess up your board or
yeah.
your rules.
Yeah, I think this is
when it comes to the
bullshit.
chugging, it has nothing to do with it.
I don't think
It scares a lot of people off, though.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't take a stronger beer if you had the choice, but I don't think that it's worth 3 seconds.
For victory? Shit. Come on.
Yeah. Well, we definitely, it loosens people up a little bit for the show
true.
as well.
For
So
Yeah.
we,
I do feel loose.
we feel good about our process.
He always
Yeah.
feels loose, if you ask
I
me.
am, honestly.
I can
Whoa,
smell it.
boy.
Anyway. So speaking of open fermentation stuff,
Yeah.
we did bring a guest beer today from our friends at Wild Provisions Beer Project. They just opened that spot up in Boulder.
Yeah.
Check out the other podcast episode if you feel like it. And this is their dark lager that they did with a Cool Ship open fermentation, which is something super unorthodox because typically lagers are more difficult because you do have to control the temperature a little bit more and get it to a much cooler temperature. So doing that,
It's fermented in the Cool Ship.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, and this isn't. I hope that no one feels like I'm diminishing what Brandon did, because this is fantastic. By the way,
go on.
But but Brandon and your glycol jacketed Cool Ship. It does.
fair point.
Yeah, it does make it a little easier
Fair
to
point.
control lager fermentation.
So now
you
you
can
guys are
control
trying to
the
make it
temperature of the
like
Cool
a
Ship.
difficulty level contest.
Also, it's different. So
Yeah.
people think that Cool Ship, and Brandon knows this. I mean, people think that Lambic Cool Ship is open fermented. It's actually not. It's fermented in the barrel.
Yeah.
It's open cool. Whereas like this, I'm assuming, was fermented in the Cool Ship.
Yeah.
Which is probably made of stainless steel, so you can do that.
Yeah, and honestly, this is more.
It's
difficult.
really, really good. It is
Yeah.
difficult,
Yeah.
and it's sketchy that it would be done in a place where you're also doing the other because those microbes are there. If you're able to make wild beer in the Cool Ship,
Well, I love the fact that
You
it
pitch
seems,
a bunch
it
of
seems like
yeast.
these have a little bit more of like a musty kind of soft texture to them, as
Yeah.
opposed to most lagers that you have can be so crisp and
Yeah.
so dry. This one to me just like it has all of the qualities that you would want out of a lager, but you're just getting like just kind of this softer feel to it. and, like, a little more
I would also
flesh.
attribute that to the can conditioning. That natural carbonation. If you're using if you're force carbing, I don't know. I just think that it is a little more harsh.
I think if you can condition or you spun and you're naturally conditioning a tank, but
Yeah.
you're capturing that end of fermentation aroma.
Right.
I mean, if you're letting that go and then putting lab CO2 in that doesn't have any aroma at all, you're capturing a little bit of that character.
Which in essence is why you want to do Cool Ship stuff to begin with and age in barrels, is because you want to eliminate any of that lab specific kind of flavor or aroma and
For sure.
things of that nature,
For
because
sure,
you're
yeah.
trying to keep it as just like raw as possible.
Yeah, we use a lab strain on our cans to carbonate them. If we had the resources to force carbonate them and then can them force carbonated, we might do that, or we might condition them with the native yeast in the tank and then can from there. But we don't have pressure tanks, so nice. So we can't do that. But all of our most of our bottles and anything that says MT on it is all native microflora from
Yeah.
start to the very finish.
In the Cool Ship itself, that's the inoculation process, right?
Right,
That's
right,
when
right.
bacteria and wild yeast are
Yeah, a
actually
little
like,
bit from
getting
the
in there.
barrels probably too.
We do our best to kind of hit reset on the barrels, though.
The idea is it doesn't come from the barrels, but
Yeah.
But
it
obviously
does.
sometimes it does.
yeah, I mean, you can't truly sterilize wood.
Stuff lives in
Every
the wood.
barrel that we empty, we have a pretty rigorous process that we'll do a bunch of cold water rinses. We'll do a steam rinse and then a full 190 degree hot water fill up, and I'll let that sit, empty it, and then do another cold water rinse. Just try to get as much gunk out.
Yeah. Last rinse is basically just to get tannins out, because
Yeah.
when you put hot water or steam in there, you're extracting not good tannin flavor from the wood. So you want to get you don't want that. You don't want to create toothpick. By doing this
Yeah.
process, but I mean the outside of our barrels get to be quite warm. So my theory is that we get pretty deep into the wood to pasteurization temperature with that 190 degree fill.
Yeah.
This is, by the way, all of those things are much more than most lambic producers do.
Yeah.
So
Well, how many in total? What's your guys barrel count? What's your food
So
count?
we've got 129 59 gallon oak barrels. We've got 8 puncheons, which are 120 gallon vessels. We've got 1 10-barrel fooder and then 3 18-barrel fooders.
And what's been sitting the longest?
I think.
What's been
There's
festering?
a 4-year barrel.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I would
sure.
say. Which one is it? Because I thought I couldn't find it, but I thought I knew where it was.
I thought I saw
lost
a
the
D.
4-year
Yeah, I saw a D when I was looking
I'm-
through Cygnus,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I could be wrong. But
Yeah. No, I think you're. I know there's one in there somewhere. I just didn't know.
Our goal is not to necessarily keep 4-year beer because, in general, the oldest we really need it to be is 3 years because that's what Goose is made of. We don't call it Goose, but we do a beer called Ascart, which is made of 1, 2, and 3-year-old beer.
This is also.
Goose.
Yeah.
This is the same thing.
Yeah,
One-
we'll
we bought
open
one.
this and talk about it in a little bit, but
We have,
I mean, my
you're in
glass
charge
is
of the
empty.
podcast now.
My glass is empty, so you can open that shit right now if you wanted to.
yeah.
Here.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so inevitably we sometimes end up with a 4-year-old barrel. We've never gone to 5-year.
No,
I don't think.
not on purpose.
In general, I don't think that's best for the beer. I think it starts to go downhill. The beer starts to die essentially, so you can
Right.
put a little bit of it in there, but dead beer doesn't age like live beer.
It's really hard to hit the sweet spot with different. I mean, every brand, every brewery, every style has its peak. I mean, there's some
I
that
think just a little bit.
you wind up you missed it, or you just didn't give it enough time, and that can be frustrating as well.
Sure.
Where you open it up and you're like, Jesus, this still tastes like gasoline. Like
Sure.
it's still so fucking hot.
Out of a bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it's different out of the barrel because you guys can obviously like pull a nail and then get a better feel for it.
Yeah.
I guess actually that's something I'd be curious to know. How many times have you guys you pull a nail on something and you're like, it's not great, right? It's not perfect right now, but we actually want people to hang on to this for a minute, and you have it bottle conditioned, or is it like you're pulling it, you're bottling it, it's like this is the way we want it right now?
Yeah, I think from my perspective, if we release something for sale, we are, we expect people, and not that we prefer people to, but we think that beer is ready to sell and is perfect to drink right then.
Sure.
Sometimes people age stuff where I'm like, I kind of wish you didn't do that because this had a ton of fruit in it, and
Yeah.
it was better fresh probably. But something like Oxcart, it's a 3-year blend. I think it's ready to drink and it has a certain character. I also think it would be really, really interesting to drink in 25 years.
Yeah.
Do
You really think it would hold up like that?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, I think it would hold up as well as Goose holds up over 25 years, which is to say, not super great sometimes. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to try some beer, some Goose that's 25, 30, 40, 50 years old, and beyond about 20 years, it starts to fall off, and you start to maybe 50% of it. I think it's
like
not
my
good.
life beyond 20 years.
yeah, that's fair.
We really peaked at 15.
And that's fine. I mean, if I was drinking Goose, I would say it probably peaks at 15 also because people keep I've had some from the 60s and I've had 2
Is the
or
thing
3
that falls
bottles.
off the most the carbonation though? Is it? It's not the
No,
flavors
it
as
turns
much,
into
it's like-
vinegar to me.
Oh, really? It just gets like that
vinegar
acidic?
and or oxidation, so it can get this kind of like sweet candy kind of thing, which is not really. To me, it's better when it's fresher but aged.
Yeah.
I had a Goose from my birth year, 1985, which was one of the highlights of my drinking careers. It was really, really good.
Crazy because the highlight of my drinking career was winning a beer pong tournament, getting $50.
Nice.
Oh man.
Very different. Very different.
I also drank a Goose the day I was born. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Very nice.
No, I was in a Mormon family. There wasn't any of that.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Not the day I was born.
Yeah. By the way, I know, without going off on too much of a tangent, this first smell that I took of the beer we just opened, the Raven
Rock.
Rock, the words out of my mouth were, God damn.
Yeah.
It smells amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
So it's Holler Town. Should I just talk about it or?
Yeah, get into it.
It's
No, tell us.
So it's
about
a,
you.
it's
tell
a
us the
1,
joke.
2, and 3 year blend. I can do that also. It's essentially a 1, 2, and 3 year blend. Chris Black from Falling Rock is the one who did this blend from our barrels. We do that a lot for collaborations, but it's essentially like what we call Oxcart, which is when I do the blend for a 3 year blend. But this one also has a pretty light Hallertauer Blanc dry hop before bottling, which was in November 2019. So I mean, a while back. But you could still pick it up. It wasn't a large amount then. It tastes, or I should realize more. It smells the same today, honestly, as it did when we sold this in probably January or whatever.
Yeah.
It's amazing how true wild microbes, have really strong antioxidant effects.
None of that fake ass shit.
Right. Well, there's a whole debate about it, right? If you buy it from a lab, is it wild or not?
Tell us about it. Tell us about your strong opinions about fake lab.
Yeah, hot
Fucking
takes.
hot take approaching.
It's not so much-
COVID-19 started on a farm.
You should do a podcast, Hot Takes of James Howitt, and it should be an hour of you just like shitting on things.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, bring this guy some toilet paper.
yeah.
We're about to shit on everything.
Ed McCaffrey ain't shit.
Who was he again? I don't know. I think he sold cars. Anyway, he wasn't shit. I feel like I saw him in like a shoe commercial,
Oh, probably.
insole commercial.
Maybe,
I recognize his
Oh,
name.
you know
but
what?
it's
No,
not from-
you're right because he had like foot problems.
he had foot problems.
from winning to carrying the team to Super Bowl.
It's hard on the bunion.
Well,
when you're
hold on with what you
carrying
say
all
there,
the-
because that's not true. But
I think you're thinking of Charles Barkley, basically the same guy.
yeah, honestly,
They look similar.
yeah, line them up. And,
Best Broncos player, in my opinion.
yeah, it's Charles Barkley.
Best. One of the best, for sure. All right, so you guys, whatever you started with, you cultivated the yeast strain yourself, I assume, when you're, because did you get
Yeah,
it from,
yeah.
whatever year you're like, do you have a house, like, yeast strain that you use or anything?
No, we don't. I mean, this stuff's all cool ship captured.
Yeah.
Some of it we grow repeatedly, sort of like a sourdough culture. We call it Solera method.
Cool Ship Captured is going to be the name of this episode.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's
Seems
great.
great.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, that piques my interest.
We do have some wild strains that are banked to the lab, but there's stuff that I harvested off of flowers and fruit and stuff from nature. My thing is, I mean,
Also into my LSD self. That's good.
this doesn't happen often, I think, anymore. But a few years ago, there was a big thing where people would buy Brett Brooks from White Labs, and they would call it a wild IPA. And I'm like, is it really? I mean, is it really wild? Like, I don't know, but I can see both sides. If you're trying to make clean beer, bringing any kind of Brett, even if it's from White Labs, is White Labs is a vendor of yeast.
Yeah.
Even if it is from White Labs, you're still talking about it's a wild animal, right? So you can kind of say, to me, it's like, is it really wild? Because it's been cultivated for 25 years, probably before since it has been in the public.
Yeah, it's about as wild as the pug you own, kind of thing.
Right. But you could
Technically release
also
this thing in the
say,
wild, but it ain't gonna hack it very well.
but you could also say, if you're in a cage with a lion, is it a wild animal? You might feel that way if you're in the cage. And if you're making clean beer and you're involving lab Brett, it is kind of wild in that case because it will fuck up your other beer.
Yeah. It's like a lion rampaging through.
Right. I
your
mean, I don't want to be in
brewery.
a cage with a lion. I don't know if I would call it wild, but it's a dangerous thing to have in captivity. So I don't know. When we talk about
Tiger
wild, we
King?
talk about
Maybe.
stuff. Right.
Lions?
Well, if
No.
yeah.
Joe Exotic, definitely.
I'll be in a cage.
Yeah, I
with Joe
never
Exotic.
saw that.
What?
I never did Tiger King.
Oh, I mean, it's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
The main thing you gotta take away from it is that he got an eyebrow piercing and it didn't age well. It droops down.
His body was trying to reject that shit. It was wild.
Yeah.
It was really barely hanging
It's
on.
most surprising because it looks like you would actually work at a zoo.
Wow. That is the hottest burn I've heard.
This will be the first podcast guest to punch Corey.
And hopefully not the last.
Speaking of wanting to punch people in the face,
You want to do some bad reviews?
yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
I do.
That is fine. We can do that.
Yeah. I was like, fuck.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll start with the one where there was actually a response from you, Jason.
James.
James, sorry.
Yep. Was it? Are you sure
and
I'm
he
the
would-
one who responded?
Yeah, it says James.
Because sometimes I just respond to my own fucking Untapped, which I just do to respond. This must be from a while ago.
I was saying, this has got to be years old.
From 2 years ago from
Okay.
a guy named Rick D.
Yeah, fuck that guy, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see what he said. Let's see.
You hear that, Rick?
Best brewery I've ever been to. Shit.
This is on,
I'm just like, thanks.
Google reviews. It says, the place was nice enough, but they specialize only in sour beers. 2 stars.
Right.
You said, hi, Rick. Thanks for your review. However, I wonder if you would rate a pizza place poorly for specializing in pizza.
Fair
rate
point,
an ice
I think.
cream, yeah, rate an ice cream shop poorly for specializing in ice cream, or rate a wine bar you get it. I wouldn't think so. This review is a bit unfair. We're clearing our name, our menu. What is the issue when you misunderstood and thus ordered something you didn't like? Because I can understand that wouldn't be a good experience, and if that's the case, I'd love more information so I can make sure others are not confused either. Thanks, James. And I gotta
Did he
say,
respond? Nah.
I gotta say it's nice that you actually responded with like a sassy. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
Because it doesn't make any sense at all.
No, because so many people. That's the reason we do this segment is because so many people are just ridiculous. Like you know what you're getting into.
Right.
So it's
Yeah. We have a worse one from a long time ago. I can tell you about, but go through the ones you picked out for sure. But I got a good one that was pretty wild.
You got one, Corey?
Oh, yeah. So this one's from Untapped. It's about your 2018-2019 division Papa.
Okay.
Does that beer ring a bell?
Yeah, it sure does. Oh man, I
An
think
American
I know
Wild
this one.
Ale, 6.5%.
In rum barrels.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right, so just tell us how many stars it got on Untapped, and then read the description.
Fuck.
It's more so.
I know this guy. I remember this very clearly because we talked about this.
Who is it, your dad?
No. Well, he's dead, so no. So,
Oh, right, Gary Dark on the podcast.
Okay, so Division Papa. It's a 1-2-3 year blend with barrel aged and tequila barrels. Irish
Rum barrels.
rum barrels. My
Yeah,
fault.
Jason, Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jason. God damn it, third Alex.
So yeah, Naga Alex strikes again. So we got 2 stars.
Cool.
It says tasted like pool toys, inflatable raft. I would have gone uninflatable raft.
Yeah, I usually like
honestly.
my wild ales to taste like pool noodles. If I'm going to go anything. I
So
want heavy
the funny
styrofoam.
thing about this review is that we took it extremely seriously, and I don't know if you
That was
remember,
your
James,
fir-
but I came in hot one day, as I tend to do. I came in hot one day, and I was like, we gotta open one of these now. We gotta taste it. Like we gotta talk about it. People already had it. Yeah, I was like, what is going on? So the division, for context, the division beers are given exclusively to our membership program, and no one outside of the membership has access to them.
That doesn't mean that guy's a member though, because people trade him and stuff.
Right,
so,
exactly,
And
yeah.
then if we poured him at festivals too.
Right.
So.
So typically, no one has access to a personal bottle that they can rate like that. So we
So
were
there was
concerned.
a division in your ranks, is what you're trying to say.
We have-
Somebody
yeah,
gave.
we do,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
All right,
There's
moving-
yeah.
Moving on.
Well, anyway, we opened it, tasted it. I personally don't think it tastes like inflatable raft, but
Yeah, would you say it's more of like an inflatable unicorn or like an inflatable turtle? Like if you were going to nail down the
I think it's
flavor?
more like like a kiddie pool.
Well, okay,
Oh, good.
kiddie pool. I was gonna say it tasted like 2 inflatable clouds that was propping up an inflatable rainbow, bridging the gap from the clouds.
I like that. I was getting a lot more bounce house out of this beer.
Bounce house.
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about McDonald's playpen ball pit?
Yeah, that sounds. It's like a little sweaty.
There was
Yeah,
a
it's
little,
got some,
a little bit of that. That's the funk. You got the
Yeah,
barnyard in
right.
there
Yeah,
with it,
yeah,
and then it's
yeah.
that's ball pit.
The,
know, it's
the
amazing.
underlying.
Are you a
pool-
sommelier? Are you a are you a chicharron?
I'm actually a chicharron. Yeah. I'm
Are you a chicharron?
certified
He's a
cheech.
Heilsman.
Master
actually.
Heilsman, yeah.
Master chicharron.
Yeah.
Master of mayonnaise and mustard.
Isn't Heisman is it the mustard or is it the trophy?
I think Heisman's.
I think you get the Heisman Trophy from being a mustard connoisseur.
Is
Like,
that
it's
how
actually
is that how the Broncos
yeah,
guy
that's
got it?
actually how Ed
Ed
McCaffrey got it.
McCaffrey
Yeah.
got the Heisman because of his mustard.
Yes.
Actually,
okay.
a trophy made of mustard.
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. They
No,
sculpt
I'm
it and then
wow.
they freeze it.
I'm not-
As
yeah.
it thaws, you eat it like a mustard popsicle.
Yeah, it's kind of like a butterscotch. It's kind of
Disgusting beer on I like mustard, but wow, that's not. That needs to be a thing.
For anybody that can't see, we do have a line of mustard seeds out on the table that
Yeah.
we're all going to snort as soon
Yeah,
as this
it's true.
podcast
Oh,
is
yeah.
Chop it
Yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah. If we're talking about snorting things,
We talked about Adderall and mustard. This is a family-oriented podcast. What the fuck are you doing?
Mushrooms are legal in Denver.
Yeah, we're snorting some
yeah,
mushrooms. and
yeah,
some
we're snorting
mustard
mushrooms.
Mustard seeds later. We're gonna be ripping.
Jason, I've got one for you to read.
God damn it, it's James.
God damn it, I'm sorry.
I did it as a joke. Now you're just being a
He's
dick.
doing it.
Are you gonna have to update your spreadsheet that it says James
it says-
instead?
I'm okay with
It
being
says
Jason Howard down third to the last.
I actually think it sounds
No.
kind of cool.
JJ, we'll call you JJ.
There you go.
That's fine.
Well,
Jay. I have one to read for, see, I can't even talk.
Hey,
normal.
Stefan, why don't you get your shit together?
I'm trying. I've been trying for 12 years, man.
I actually went by Jay in college, but it's a long story. So.
That was cool, James.
yeah.
Back when I was doing microbiology in college.
Now he just broods on the internet. So.
All right. So this is the first time we've experienced this, where the person left the review on multiple websites
That's the first time?
that we've come across.
Okay.
It, yeah,
Like a
straight copy
It's like a
paste.
copy
So
paste.
you copy pasted on both Google reviews and Yelp.
Is this the door?
Is it the 14ers? Is it the door?
No.
Just read it. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you read it, James.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Sounds like you guys were. It was like a spooky movie. Is it the door?
Well, now I feel like we need to. Well,
That would have been that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is this place haunted?
All right, to be fair, this is a 3-star.
It is, but read the review.
All right.
Hold your horses.
Corey Wills. He's a local guy, 33 reviews.
Is this you?
Yes.
What the fuck?
This is my ultimate get. You suckers on my podcast. We're gonna read
A
the
year
review
ago,
again.
he planned for this. Wild. That's how they get content for the podcast.
Launched a whole podcast to deal with this.
I'm too close. You're turning
This
down
is
my
the long
mic,
play.
I'm deep throat. Okay, all about sours. Holt, generally fine for me as I really enjoy sours. However, the whole place has a bit of an off smell, which isn't pleasant. It's because Corey doesn't wear deodorant.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's mostly my fault.
Honestly,
That's your
Corey, it's
left
just
pit,
yourself.
I'm adding to
It's
the
your left pit.
microflora. Thank
It's
me.
your left pit.
One end of the bar smells funkier than the other.
All right.
I'll jump in your cool ship after this. if you want.
Ended up. That's fine. We'll take
Could you
that.
not?
Okay, actually.
Nobody ever likes it when I say stuff like that. They take it very seriously. I'm like,
said,
I'm just fucking around.
He
You're
said
like, fucking
ended up
don't.
like, yeah,
ended up
it's
ordering the
not a
2
joke.
guest taps because the smell just permeated sour. Those were enjoyable beers. As for a sticker, who doesn't at this point? Well, I don't know because it doesn't seem like you like us that much, and we charged him $1 for one.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah, this is seriously the only sticker I've ever been charged for in the entire metro area.
That is.
Heck, the brewery right next door, which at this point had opened about 3 days prior, I guess, gave me 4 for nothing. Unless he's talking about the Mexican restaurant, which might be true because people don't fucking understand what's going on. There's a lot of breweries here. Look, we all know stickers bought in bulk don't cost much. It's advertising for you. Don't be greedy.
You should be
Don't be
thanking
greedy.
this person.
25 cents, sure. $1, just greedy.
Okay, for what it's worth, we charge 50 cents for our stickers.
We might have charged $1 back then.
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe just for him.
I just want to be
Maybe
clear.
just for
I
him,
just
we're-
want to be clear, though. A lot of places get stickers that are bought in bulk and they're digitally printed. And our stickers, especially this
Are
time,
you vinyl boys?
were hand printed, screen printed vinyl.
Yeah.
It's a, you can feel the fucking ink on it.
Yeah.
It's a very different thing than like a normal sticker.
Oh, vinyl stickers are so nice.
Yeah, it also costs us
If you
more
know,
than
you
25
know,
cents per
too,
sticker.
is
You
the
know,
thing.
you know.
Yeah.
Costs us more than a quarter, so we can't charge a quarter. Anyway, maybe
It's the
this
most
is free
hipster
advertising.
thing I've heard in a long fucking time.
It's-
We have
that's fair.
hand-pressed vinyl stickers.
It's a big difference in cost. I'll tell you that.
you guys hate me right
If anybody wanted a sticker from your podcast, then you would have to do that research. But I don't know.
We actually
Don't have stickers.
We do have them.
Oh,
Did
they
you
do.
digitally print them?
How much do they cost?
They cost us about 60 cents a piece. They're not vinyl.
So you don't charge a quarter. You give them away. Fuck, you give them away. God damn.
We gave them, but I mean,
Steve, don't lie, we give 'em
could
away.
we could charge, but like yeah, but I mean also like we're just trying to like get people to know who we are.
I feel like you really
Oh, wait,
backed him
you
into a
guys
corner
know.
there.
So you're about the it's advertising part.
I don't. The thing is like who the fuck gets mad about stickers? Honestly.
Well, I mean, he could just not buy it. It's funny because
Yeah.
he paid for it and
Yeah.
then was upset about it.
Begrudgingly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, this is $1. He could have been like, nah.
Yeah, he could have said, "Oh, never mind. That's out of my price range."
And they probably be like, here's a free one. I mean, I'll say this: we charge $1 in the tavern because people come in all the time. They don't buy. They want to get a bunch of stickers, and they were expensive. I will say, even at the time, I would take a stack of them to festivals
Yeah.
and fan them out. Not enough for everyone, but people were getting them for free at festivals.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. We
Geeks
charge
are
50
fucking-
cents now. I mean, if you ask real nicely, not via email, because a lot of people do that. We don't
Yeah,
fucking
please
mail
don't.
you stickers just because you ask.
Yeah.
By the way,
But it's free
Anyone's
marketing
listening.
for you guys.
it's free advertising.
Yeah.
But even
All my buddies that
they're
drink
even
my
like, I'm going to
homebrew.
put it on my homebrew
Don't
fridge.
you
I'm
want,
like, that's
don't you
not
want
advertising.
Don't you want your logo associated with my shitty opinions?
Right. Exactly. yeah.
That's actually why I had to peel all the Black Project stickers off of my car. So
Yeah, because of how you drive.
so you
Yeah.
can
Because of how shitty
resell
his
them
car
at
is.
half the
Because
value.
cops
Yeah.
pull you over and ask for free stickers.
yeah, that's actually what I meant.
some of
Yeah. Do you guys want another bottle then?
Yeah.
Okay, go
Corey's
get
gonna-
get a king bowl.
Okay.
Also, can we pause it for a second? Because I have to fucking
Yeah.
piss really bad.
Yeah, we'll pause it.
They're hitting record rapidly right now.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
Steve was
There's
jumping
like
on
a
it.
better
So
than
I-
50% chance it's not going to
Yeah.
taste good, and we won't do it. So
Yeah,
No, it's gonna
basically, it
taste.
asked
It's
if
gonna
these
taste
guys-
fucking
I think
great.
it might taste good. But we have a wild strain, so it'd be a pure culture strain that we buy from a lab. But I isolated it myself, and we may do a lager with that, where we, it would not be a sour beer.
Okay.
It would be a pure culture yeast, no bacteria involved, and we do a lager with that, where we ferment with that wild strain at a cold temperature for a long period of time. So, which you could debate is it a lager because of the fermentation temperature? Is it a lager because of the species of the yeast? We would call it a lager.
Mostly the species of the yeast, I would think, right?
Is it though? Because I don't know. I mean, steam beer to me doesn't really taste like lager, but that's made with lager yeast.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can. There's some Kolsch, which is an ale strain that you can ferment real cold, and it tastes basically like a lager.
Basically the same, yeah. You would
Yeah, I think
tell the
it's
difference.
mostly that real low ester kind of crispness. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, nice.
Pop in bottles.
Yeah.
It's like a
I
recipe.
didn't do the psh thing because it's actually bottled still.
I'm
so-
actually upset that you didn't saber it off.
Well, we don't do that anymore.
An accident happened. All right, so I've got another another untapped review for you guys. This is for Goblin.
Oh,
which
fuck
is
yes.
Yeah.
A 6.4% pumpkin yam beer, as it's labeled.
Yeah, and also
Green chili
Ancho chilies,
and
right?
and it was in
Allspice
maple
or-
syrup bourbon
Old
barrels.
Spice, like the deodorant that I
No,
got.
allspice. Not. I don't know if that was in it or not.
No, there wasn't allspice. No, so it was actually a pumpkin and green chili sour golden in maple syrup bourbon barrels.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm good. 'cause there was
Just
some
so good.
confusion.
Yeah. So anyone who's confused,
If it sounds like something you wouldn't like, why the fuck would you buy that?
I was just looking for a real casual sipper.
It tastes like chilies. Yeah, we get that all the time though.
Yeah. So this is the previous beer was your worst rated beer on Untapped. This is the second worst rated.
wait, what was it? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Can we go back?
So
Papa.
Division,
Papa was the worst
Papa
rated.
has.
Okay.
Let's see what the total was on it.
It's gonna be like
3.13.
1-3. Yeah.
3.13.
That's still
lowest
better
rated.
than a lot of breweries who are still operating day to day. Just for what it's worth.
That's good for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you clarified that for us. We're here because
Sorry,
we
my-
like your beer. This
Okay,
is
okay, I'm sorry.
Not to cast shade, but there's breweries around that have a 3.2 or 3 average.
Go ahead. Tell us which ones they are.
I don't know. I don't look at on tap.
That's all right. We're gonna look up it in a second.
You can.
Just say they're on the same block.
Yeah. If you,
Oh no! That's not what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't use Untapped, so I don't know who they are, but I know they're there.
I've heard.
I could give you their email addresses if you'd like.
Please, we'll post them on our Instagram pages. See if we can help boost or lower their ratings even further.
Yeah.
All right, so this one it's the Goblin got a 3.4 on Untapped, and Alex, why don't you go ahead and read this review here?
Cool. Oh wow, this is actually a lot nicer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Nose is almost enteric as almost as enteric as chili and maple battle with stone fruit. This guy.
Fucking nerd, huh?
Yeah,
Who
fucking
uses the word
nerd.
enteric?
Yeah, Kevin. Very highly acidic. Tastes a lot like a Mexican chili dusted lollipop. 4 stars. All right.
Who tastes those things? Like, when's the last? Who has Mexican chili dusted lollipops on a regular basis?
I do.
Do you?
No, I don't. I
I was gonna say, when's the last time
just
any
a
of you
lie.
have had that?
That's just a lie.
I mean, maybe Adelitas has that.
They don't.
menu. Oh,
They don't. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
I guarantee you this guy had like one like ancho chili dusted lollipop like one time on his fucking all-inclusive resort bullshit in
Yeah.
fucking Puerto
Sticking his
Vallarta or some
pinky out.
bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm so fucking
He just got off
cultured and educated.
He just got back on the boat into his carnival cruise after landing in Puerto Rico.
Also, though, Kevin, we really appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
I guess my thing about Goblin is
hot take. Finally,
it was
Yeah.
no, it was divisive for sure.
It's a pumpkin yam beer.
green chili.
More than a lot of beers that I think are really good, universally good. That it's not like divisive. We got a lot of people who were like, "Whoa, when are you gonna do that again?" I'm like, "Fucking never," because a lot of people hated it.
Tell them about the letter.
that I pulled it up.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
it might be. So, as a counterpoint to this, we've very, very, very rarely, almost never gotten a fan letter about a beer.
That's a fan letter?
About a beer, right?
Whoa.
Whoa,
That
a
looks
real
like,
twist.
To
Yeah.
be fair, when it started, I thought this guy fucking hates the beer. Based on the start, I'll skip through.
That's
right?
long
This
as
letter
hell.
has a serious arc.
It's really fucking long. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. He said, "I'm on the Wine and Food Society of Hollywood. I've been a member for 35 years."
Terrible way to start it.
I guess that's not the start. There's a long start. He said, "I'm talking too much." He says, to the point. He says, "We had a meal this past Monday, and I opened your Goblin. Candidly, I anticipated that this would not be a beer I'd enjoy based on what I read on the label. First of all, why would you buy it then?
Right,
That's my thing.
yeah.
If you're like, I don't think I'd like that. Okay, great. It's a really fucking.
All these
this is-
ingredients sound terrible.
Yeah.
I'll buy 5.
Right.
Then he says, "Wow, was I wrong? This beer made an impression on me that I felt compelled to write, and holy shit, he write a lot.
Do you think he was? Do you think he was
It's
clothed?
like a whole manifesto.
It's a whole thing. It's a
Yeah.
He literally wrote like a manifesto
Yeah.
about this beer, just
Yeah.
gushing
Yeah.
over it.
Signed Ted Kaczynski.
He's talking about maybe.
Well,
He's like, I'm amazed I was able to get it in prison. He might be dead. I'm not sure if Kaczynski's dead.
no, I think he's in
Freaking
Colorado
Goblin.
City, right?
He's
Well,
actually.
he's an agent. This guy's an agent. So
Yeah.
have we checked on that?
No, I haven't.
How did
I'm
that
not
guy
the
feel
agent
about
director.
the MK Ultra references? Probably not great. Okay.
Kaczynski's actually going to be on the podcast next week. We're
Ted is? Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's actually here right now. Ted, come on out.
You'd be surprised what kind of wild firms he can do in that shed.
He's in the toilet when you're making your orange juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been letting the boysenberry fester for about 2 months now.
Good. That's a good fester time. Anyway, he says, "There I go again," which was I skipped no joke 6 paragraphs.
Yes.
Bottom line is that while I love your stuff, Goblin I found amazing, as did a group of old snobby wine and food guys. It appears to be underrated, but also was apparently sufficiently rare that a lot of people have not tasted or reviewed it, which is too bad because it's an experience beer aficionados would enjoy. Sorry to talk so much. I guess I could have just said nice job, but I found this particular beer of yours very exciting, and I wanted to share love. Anyway, that was from a guy.
Was there any cocaine residue on the
Well, if there was, it's gone now.
Because we washed it off.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
With my nostril.
Yeah.
We vacuumed it right away.
Yeah. It got sucked up.
We like drugs. Anyway, so that's that doesn't happen very often where somebody gives you like a
Not
rousing
a
review.
long email like that. Like, that guy
Was it
sent
a
like
handwritten
long
letter?
time.
Or was it like
it
an
was an
email?
email, but it was fucking long.
Yeah. And almost never does anybody give us a positive review. So
I mean, that's not true. On Untapped, we get positive reviews like crazy. But,
Okay. Well.
but to write that much, you can't even write that much on Untapped if you want. He had to write an email because I think Untapped was like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, well before we even got to the point.
that was
Somehow.
like longer than like an Allen Ginsberg poem.
Yeah.
That
I
thing
mean, I
was-
wish it's a podcast. I wish you could see it. It's very, very, very long.
Somehow we
You
figured out
couldn't-
how to seal an email with a kiss.
I read it for 5 minutes. I thought this guy's about to rip us apart about this fucking beer, and then finally I was like, oh, actually no.
Like, oh, it's
It took that
pleasant.
long to
Yeah.
get into it, and then it was 10 more
Right.
minutes of reading.
How often do you say a review's a real page turner? I was on the edge of my seat
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
this entire time. Well, we think your beers are great, and
Yeah,
a bunch of
very
other
good.
people do too. Do you have any other bad reviews, Steve?
Well, he doesn't like sour beer, so probably.
I've really
Yeah, man,
enjoyed it.
I wanna
Should we
know,
drink
like,
it?
how
Should we
you
talk about
feel.
King Bolt?
Yeah, that's what I'm
we
saying.
record it.
Yeah, I actually just started drinking it.
So, Steve,
Before you give a bad review,
first,
No, it's very good.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's very good.
Let's go with Steve. What does Steve think of
Yeah,
it?
Steve, what do you think of the last 2 beers that we've had? Because one's like a goose. Have you had a goose before?
Yeah.
Inspired.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're both good. The thing, like none of these
Inspired.
None of the things that we've had are like overbearingly sour, and like I know that beers like that exist for people.
For sure.
It's just not for me. But like these, what we've been drinking are like not overly sour. It's just like a hint, which is actually really good because I like sour candies and stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's just like super sour beers I can't do.
What
But these
one
are,
are
like-
you thinking of that like really just you have PTSD from? Because you've mentioned that before.
Duchess.
Do you have one that's like just,
salad dressing.
just shreds your
like it,
palate?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
I drink a lot of sours. It's not. I don't really care for them, but I'll drink them. If I get free beer, I'll drink whatever the fuck it is. You know?
Well, all right, now we know
fair.
where you
We
stand.
got a real
I'm
special-
sorry.
We got a
Did you
real
guys
specialist
think
here.
these were free? We have your tab.
Yeah, we've been running it. Our CFO's sitting in the front.
Now would be a good time to mention our sponsors for the show. Don't forget, send us a check.
So this
Were you talking about using a beer for dressing, by the way? Salad
Yeah.
dressing?
Yeah, which I actually think would be really good.
Honestly, it would work out very nicely.
Duchess de Bourgogne.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very acetic.
Yeah,
People always
it's
get
good.
acetic and acidic confused. They're not
It's
the same.
true,
Acetic
yeah.
means acetic acid. Acidic
They're even
means-
spelt differently.
It's almost like
Spelled
cauliflower.
acetic is a very kind
Well,
of
it's that's from the.
flour.
All right.
acetic is a very special kind of Jewish person.
Californication.
Acidic is a very toxic kind of Jewish.
So which beer are you using for a salad dressing? Duchess,
Duchess,
tell
yeah.
us a little bit more about your Duchess.
Well, that
No, it's just very acetic, which is vinegar,
Yeah,
acetic
yeah.
acid and vinegar.
it's also not. It's not our beer.
I've never loved that beer. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay,
I've never
No, it's not our
loved that
beer.
beer. Yeah.
We
Tell us
really
about Joe Duchess.
we really try to avoid acetic character in our
Yeah.
beer. I think we do a very good job actually of not having acetic character.
Yeah.
Some are more acidic than others. So sometimes people are like, it's so
Yeah,
acidic.
It
or,
tastes,
you know.
tastes pretty Jewy to me. I'm on board.
Is it kosher? No. No, it's not kosher.
No, the rabbi was busy, so.
The rabbi was busy.
Yeah, which I just
Not as busy as the priest.
All right.
Get right in there. Fuck.
Anyway, this beer's made with some, I don't know, some fucking honey.
This beer. Okay, so
honey and
this beer. I had a vision for this beer 2 years ago. Before I was production manager, we started making this line. He doesn't even know what it says. It's got his signature on it, and he has no idea what it is.
sign, just throwing bottles.
It's
on
Tony
his desk,
Hawk.
Be like, sign it.
So we launched our side project. Covert, and James, you can tell them to delete this or not if you want. But we launched Covert.
It's like mead.
Yeah, almost 3 years ago, and it's all spontaneously inoculated, mead like
It's called
inspired.
Super Braggot.
Yeah.
So it's made with malt and honey.
Yeah.
But it tastes like a very sweet, boozy mead.
Yeah.
20% alcohol or 18%.
Yeah.
some
So
higher-
the
high
the first barrels that we emptied, there was like a lot of residual fruit that like I like frankly I didn't want to dump. I didn't want to throw it away. So it's like, I'm going to put beer on top of this, sour golden base on top of that, and I let it sit for another, like, year or so in the bourbon barrels, and then we kind of, like, blended it together, and it still, like, wasn't enough beer to, like, justify doing anything with it. It was, like, a very small quantity. So, God, what did I do with it after that?
honey.
And yeah, so we did more honey into it. So there was like honey and fruit from like the first Covert.
This is 9.5% alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't tell drinking it. Like it.
No. It's
sweetness to it.
it's really really cool because the whole time I was making this, I was thinking, oh fuck, James is gonna be so mad that I put so much money into this beer that I am going to just dump down the drain.
I don't know if you ever bought 5 gallons of honey. It's fucking expensive.
It is very pricey.
yeah.
So there's probably about
Between
like,
these and the shoes you bought, we're over a barrel. Credit card statements.
So I don't know. Long story short is that like this turned out insanely well compared to what I thought it was going to be. I'm very happy with it. We
Tastes
bottled.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah, we bottled it intentionally, like still or very low carbonated. If you decide to open it at room temperature, you can. Obviously, like the cold will tampen carbonation. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like really happy with it. Super fruit forward. Really dry. Super jammy. So,
It's not mead like because it's so dry. But
Yeah.
you've got a lot of the same flavors actually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's much easier to drink than mead.
and you get
Yeah.
just like you get like punched in the face with oak.
Yeah.
So
Step into that forest of a mosh pit.
fuck yeah.
No, you're right. It's not too sweet. You do get kind of like I almost get kind of like a grape skin kind of like on the
Totally.
back end.
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
because you get that like dryness, but there's a very specific dryness to it.
Did we put wine in this or grape juice in this? I can't remember.
You're telling me I don't know what's going on.
I have
I
literally
love
no
how you
idea.
guys have
This
to
is-
read your own label.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What the hell did I
Well, you know,
There's no question, but I think
when you're forced to pump out beers,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like a factory
We
over
don't,
here.
we don't pump out. We did a lot of bottles in 2019, 2020.
No, it's true.
A lot of bottles.
I said I'm like a factory here, and Hubbard, my brewer, just like peeked his head over, like, "You're the factory."
Oh yeah.
He's actually working. He's been working this entire time.
Yeah.
No idea there was
yeah.
anybody back.
Yeah.
In all actuality, he's the one carrying the whole
I
company.
pulled Alex to do this podcast, and now David's doing twice the
Yeah.
work this
Yeah.
afternoon. So,
Thanks, David.
and
Yeah,
probably
thank
probably
you.
will continue because now Alex is drunk. So,
Yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna work from home for the rest of the day.
No, just hover over him with a beer and be like, "You're doing it wrong."
that's my job.
Yeah, honestly, my favorite part of the days is when James walks in and says, "So what's going on here?"
I know what's going on, but I want you to tell me.
It's the most loaded question that I could be asked.
What's this?
going on here? Yeah. What's
Let's
this?
hear this
What's
stupid
this?
thing come out of your
what's
mouth.
this?
What's this?
Yeah. And James is nice that he's not super aggressive towards us, but he's not so nice that he's really passive aggressive towards us.
It's funny. Why are there
His
so many?
hot takes. His hot takes are. He's not aggressive, but his hot
Lukewarm.
takes
I
are.
microwave him first.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
are there so
it's-
many phone books scattered around this place?
That's actually
They
just
look
because I'm short. but-
Look partially worn in.
Those are his step stools.
Yeah.
Don't beat me with my step stool.
I need that. I need that.
Well, is there anything you guys want to let people know about before we get out of here? Like how to get your beer the best way? Is you said the tap room isn't really open right now for on-site consumption.
Yeah.
It's just available for to go.
Yeah.
So just check our social medias. You'll see a link to our online store if you want to go kind of beer. And also, I want to tell my last joke if I can. You can edit it out if you
Seems
want.
like no, we will definitely not, no matter how it turns out.
They'll edit it out. I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna tell it anyway.
They're
I
not
was
gonna
told
edit
this
it.
was a funnier joke, and I should tell it.
Did Melissa tell you it was a funnier joke?
Yes.
Okay.
I told her both.
Okay.
All right. So.
Oh, did you prepare?
yes.
That would have been nice.
The guys. Well, anyway, your
What's
joke was
going
funnier
on
than mine.
here, James?
A guy was putting his kid to bed. Kid's 6 or 7 years old, little boy. And as he, reads him a story and puts him to sleep, he looks in the nightstand and he sees like a riding crop and like a ball gag and handcuffs. And he's like, "What?" And he kind of closes the drawer. The kid's asleep, and he goes downstairs to his wife and he's like, "Honey, I found some like S&M kind of stuff. What's going on? He's too young for this, right? Like, right? And, should we punish him or what?" She goes, "Well, what are we going to do?" He goes, "I'll tell you what we're not going to do. Spank him." Edit it. It's fine.
That was. Can you edit it so that's the joke? that he
It's just like a hard
tells?
cut. It's like, it is like me saying that.
We're gonna edit it so it's an hour and a half of him repeating that joke.
That's fantastic.
I will spend 3 days rating it 5 stars on
Yeah.
Spotify if you do that.
Yeah.
3 straight days. I don't do anything else. So.
It's true. He only
I'll just
rates
assume that-
podcasts on Spotify.
Yeah.
That is.
Rate.
Yeah. He thinks that he's clever with his laptop hunched over typing.
It looks like I'm working,
Yeah.
but they can see it's just
We can all see.
He's just going on there.
Yeah.
You charged me $1 for these stickers.
I'm just responding.
$2.
Those are hand printed. You can feel the ink, guy.
Actually,
If you guys could both leave a review for our podcast that says, "Didn't look like something I would enjoy, but boy, was I surprised." That would be
yeah.
that would be great.
I don't actually know how to review a podcast. I'll be perfectly fucking That's how often I do it.
And just write us a 10-page letter about how much.
Yeah.
I'll just email it to you. It won't help your ratings at all.
No.
But you'll have the letter.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks you guys very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
James got it this time.
Nice. Were you thinking about that for the whole time?
Man, I'm
was
really,
like a long
I'm
pause.
really
It's
bad
like
with
an-
names. And he looks like a dude I used to know whose name was Jason. And then there's like
Sure.
a weird dyslexic thing for me too, where it's like the J-A and an S.
Yeah.
And so it all.
Yeah.
I fuck shit up. I almost called you Eric at one point.
That's okay. That's my uncle's name, so I actually get that a lot. What? Yeah.
I get called Chris all the time. I don't.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's completely
Wait, your name is not Chris?
It's Corey actually.
Let's get into it for Corey and Chris on this episode of the podcast. Catch you later.
Thanks for listening.